I wonder if perhaps you have a child who has difficulty with homework problems, even though you explain what to do time and time again. You've done that repeatedly, and the child still doesn't quite get it. Your child may need to strengthen his cognitive skills, and we're going to talk about that today with educational therapist Dr. Lee DeLorge, who's with us. Good morning. Dr. Lee, everybody calls you Dr. Lee,
yes.
And it's good to have you here today.
Thank you. It's
I
a
wonder if
pleasure.
you would define cognitive skill. What is that?
Your cognitive skills are basically your ability to think, to reason, to pay attention, and sequence information.
And is it obvious to some people that they need to strengthen their cognitive skills, or do they just don't even know what's going on?
There's usually cues that parents can see in children that they struggle with. Sometimes it takes them twice as long to do their homework. Sometimes they can't retain the information that they study as easily as their peers might retain the information.
So some kids are going to be like that, and other kids are going to say, I just don't get it.
Yes.
Give it to me again.
Yes, and you can tell them over and over again.
Well, if you've tried it over and over again and it's not working very well, what can you do? How can you change your approach to helping the child with cognitive skills?
I just recently finished an 18-month research study on the memory and specific to a program called AudioBlocks. And it works more with developing the sensory memory, which is your ability to see and hear sounds, see letters, connect them to sounds. That type of information, when the sensory is working, it goes into your short term. And short term is actually your key to processing the information more effectively. Your short term memory sustains attention. So if you have a child who has trouble paying attention, it's not going to sink in or transfer to the correct areas of the brain to be able to access it, like long term. Short term actually transfers to long term. And if you think of short term like RAM of a computer, it's random access memory. So you randomly access it and transfer it into other files like you would on your computer desktop.
We've had people on this program who can remember everything that happened on every day in their life. And then there are people like me, and I can't remember what I did yesterday. Now, is there something wrong with me?
No, there's nothing wrong with you. It's how you're perceiving the information, and that's a piece of the cognition. It's how you perceive it. Your sensory memory is only about 300 milliseconds long, and that's what actually transfers to the short-term memory. Your short-term is stored in visual or auditory sounds. Through this research study that I did, visual memory, or the ability to create pictures in your head, helps students retain the information more readily. It's more effective in their study skills and being able to remember and recall information.
Does your organization work with specific kids? I mean, you have a child brought in by a parent who says this child's not learning. You can help?
Yes. We have a variety of students that come through with a variety of disabilities. We tend to specialize more on dyslexia or dyscalculia, which is a math version of not being able to read. We have a lot of auditory processing, sensory integration difficulties with students, and we do a variety of modalities to help them develop and rewire, strengthen the sensory areas of their brain.
Well, we know that there are parents out there who are probably dealing with these issues and are happy to